So this is a trusty dip belt, and these are your balls when you're not careful enough using this. So studies have shown that most of the injuries in and around the gym are caused by the dip belt and people not using them carefully. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to avoid said injury. And in all seriousness, I had my foreskin being pinched by these shackles once, and I didn't want that to happen again. So I'm going to show you how you can avoid having that injury. So the way these injuries occur is when people just put on the dip belt, boom, and they don't take the slack out of the shackles. So what ends up happening is whenever the weight is no longer supported by something else, but only supported by the chain, the slack gets out of the chain, and when doing so, skin gets trapped in between those shackles and rips everything apart. Now, when people load their dip belts, people like to use the plates like so. Then you have to hold it between your legs, try not to tip it over, then do whatever, take it in. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to use a loading pin. That way you can set it up safely. That way, boom, you put on the plate. The only downside of using a loading pin is that the weight is gonna be wider between your legs. But really, I'm used to having wide things in between my legs, so that's not a factor. Okay, all jokes aside, the way also people typically like to put on their dip belts, and that's not really wrong, but I don't like it, is by just looping it around and doing like so. I don't like that either, because even though skin can't get trapped in between it, there's too much slack and you can lose the dip belt way too easily. What is my preferred method of using the dip belt? I like to have the carabiner in the middle of the chain, like so. What I'm doing is I take the dip belt, I put it around my waist, I loop the chain in the other side of the ring, boom. I take it up a little bit and make sure the slack is out of the chain. I loop this around the ring in the loading pin, and then I put this one, the carabiner of the dip belt, at the bottom of the ring on the dip belt, below this chain here. You don't want to have it above, because then your dip belt is going to twist like this. You want to have the carabiner below, boom. And now you see this triangle, and this is where the danger happens. If I'm just going to stand up like this, maybe the slack is only going to go out once the weight is free, and then things can get trapped. So what I'm doing is I take these two rings, I put two fingers in here, I take out the slack so that the rings touch, like so. I hold it like this, I take my loading pin, boom, I carefully let it drop. So now all the slack is out of the chain, my jewels are not in danger, and then I can do whatever exercise I want without having any danger whatsoever. So yeah guys, that's basically how I put on a dip belt and how I use it safely. Just let me know in the comments down below how this technique saved you from ripping your balls off, and I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!